Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about, this is going to be two parts. Okay, so this video we're going to talk about incentives. So what I'd like for you to think about is I'm going to ask you a question. And the question is, what are your incentives for changing your behaviors, your beliefs, and processes regarding health and fitness? So what does that mean? Well, when we start looking at change, we start looking at change within ourselves, it can often fall into many categories. So when we start thinking about our behaviors, right, how are we behaving in regards to this? That can be in a lot of different relationships. So the way we're going to use relationships in this conversation is our behavior doesn't ultimately have to be with somebody else. It could be with food, it could be with a restaurant, it could be with a drive home, it could be with our living room, our kitchen, our choices, right? What are our relationships with these things and with ourselves in relation to that? So how are our behaviors ultimately shaping our health and fitness life? Okay, so that's the first one. How are they shaping us? Number two, how are our beliefs about ourselves in regards to health and fitness shaping ourselves? And the beliefs can go a lot of different directions. If you've gone through some of our more in-depth programs, you'll know that we spend a lot of time going into belief systems and value systems and motivation and what drives us as individuals, how we got here and how to move forward. If you haven't done that, just take a moment and reflect on what you believe about yourself in regards to health and fitness, deserving to be healthy and fit. What does the environment around you say about you being healthy and fit? Is it conducive to that? What does your past say about you being healthy and fit? What does your genetics say about you being healthy and fit? Because all of these, they formulate these beliefs in our mind. So when we can look at these things objectively and really take them in, and we might feel something, but we really want to look at all of these things that begin to shape our mind, it'll put us in a much better position to make better decisions moving forward. And then last, what are your processes? Okay, what are your processes in regards to health and fitness on a daily basis? And what I mean by that is, how do you know when you're hungry? What do you normally prepare at different times? What do you crave at the beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day? What do you eat without thinking about? And if you had better options available, how would that change? Okay, so now that we have a base level of awareness of these three areas, what are your incentives for changing any, a part, or all of these areas in regards to health and fitness? What benefits would come if you made some changes in some of these areas? Now, the cool thing about health and fitness is the compounding effect, the cumulative effect, the compound interest, the small changes that almost seem insignificant, but at the whole make a huge impact overall. So if you find that there are incentives, you don't need to take any action now. But what you really want to do, because we don't know where you're at on your health and fitness journey, maybe it's time to make that next change. Maybe it's time just to get started with something at any level. So really draw into those questions, take a moment to reflect and think about what are the incentives for change? What are the benefits for you to change any of these areas, and do they exist? And I'll see you in the next video where we begin to cover risks associated with the same thing. So answer those questions and I'll see you in just a moment.